Once upon a time, there lived a raven named Edgar. His feathers were a midnight black that glistened in the sun, but Edgar saw no beauty in them. He spent most of his days perched on a high branch of an ancient oak tree. "I am just a dull, ugly bird," Ed muttered one morning as the forest awoke around him. The sparrows chirped their cheerful melodies. The robins flitted about with their bright red chests, and the woodpeckers drummed lively rhythms on tree trunks. Edgar, however, felt like an outcast. His caws were harsh and unwelcome in the symphony of the forest. His head drooping low, he thought I had no purpose, beauty, or joy. One day, as he wallowed in sorrow, Edgar noticed an old tortoise shuffling through the undergrowth below. Humphrey, the tortoise, was known in the forest for his wisdom and calm demeanor. Spotting Edgar, Humphrey called out, "Why do you look so glum, young raven?" Edgar cawed bitterly, "Because I have nothing to be happy about. I am plain and ordinary, while others are colorful, melodious, and admired." Humphrey chuckled softly. "Happiness, my friend, does not come from comparison. It comes from within. Let me show you something." Curious, but reluctant, Edgar fluttered down from his perch and followed Humphrey to a small, clear stream. Its surface shimmered under the sunlight. "Look into the water," Humphrey said. Edgar hesitated but eventually peered into the stream. For the first time, he saw his reflection. His black feathers glimmered with shades of blue and purple under the sun's rays. His eyes, sharp and piercing, held a quiet strength. "You are not plain, Edgar," Humphrey said. "You have a beauty and presence unique to you. But more than that, your worth is not defined by your appearance. It's about what you do and how you see the world." As Edgar pondered Humphrey's words, a slight commotion drew their attention. A young squirrel had fallen into the stream and struggled against the current. Without thinking, Edgar swooped down, his wings slicing through the air. He grasped the squirrel gently in his talons and lifted it to safety. Shivering but safe, the squirrel looked up at Edgar with wide, grateful eyes. "Thank you. I thought I was done for it, but it squeaked." Edgar felt something stir within him for the first time in a long while. It wasn't pride or vanity. It was a warm, fulfilling sense of purpose. Over the following days, Edgar began to see the forest differently. He noticed his sharp eyes could spot danger from afar, warning smaller creatures of lurking predators. His strong wings carried him great distances, helping him fetch food for those in need. The other animals began to look up to Edgar, not because of his appearance, but his actions. Slowly, Edgar realized that his happiness didn't depend on how others saw him, but on how he contributed to the world around him. One evening, as the sun painted the sky in hues of orange and purple, Edgar perched beside Humphrey on a low branch. "I understand now," Edgar said. "Happiness isn't about being admired or envied. It's about being helpful, kind, and true to myself." Humphrey smiled knowingly. "Exactly, my friend. And when you stop searching for happiness in the wrong places, it finds you in the right ones." From that day on, Edgar was no longer the sad raven. He learned to be happy, not because life was perfect, but because he had found joy within himself.